Welcome to another video from jasonejohns.com for the 90-day challenge. Right guys, I said to you that I'd talk to you about this WordPress SEO plugin, and here it is down here, WordPress SEO from Yoast. Very, very powerful plugin, and if I click on the left hand side here, it will take us through to the dashboard. Now this is a pretty powerful plugin, so I'm going to go through quite a lot of stuff, and there's quite a lot of stuff in here that goes over my head. Maybe you'll understand of it, some of it maybe you won't, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff in here, and before we go through it, and you'll hear me say this time and time again, if you're not sure what something does or whether you need it, leave it well alone. Okay, you just don't want to cause any problems, damage anything, or stop your site from working by fiddling around. Now they do a tour here, so you can tour, and he talks you through a lot of the stuff that's here. You can also, in case you do fiddle and break things, you can reset it back to its defaults. So you can click here and reset it. Now, again, you've got a couple of options on the front page. You can track it. This sends details to the guy that writes the plugin, so you can keep track of how people are using it. There's nothing that identifies you as a person. It's just anonymous stats so that they can see who's using it with what themes, what plugins, and so on. It's up to you whether you want to enable that or not. If you're on the multi-user site, you probably want to disable this, keep this checked, but this gives you some more options in the SEO meta box, which frankly I'm not interested in. I don't want to mess with that. It's a bit getting too techy, too complex, so I just leave that switched off because I don't want to redirect posts or no index them or anything like that. I want people to see my posts, I want them to stay where they are, and for everyone to see them. If you're using webmaster tools from Google, Bing or Alexa, you can put your ID in there and it will integrate into those tools as well. Now the first option we have is titles and metas. Okay, so this is all about sort of the SEO side. This is all about setting it up on your page. Now most of this you're going to just leave as default. This isn't checked by default. Whether you want to use it or not is entirely up to you. The general consensus of opinion these days is that meta keywords is just a waste of time, that nobody really pays any attention to it. I still stick them in there anyway because I'm just old-fashioned. I'm going to look more into the fact about whether or not you do need them. I've heard varying reports, but a couple of people have said no, you don't need them. So I want to look more into that and be absolutely sure. So obviously I'll report that back to you. But you can see here you've got various options that you can set. Most of these, again, I'd leave them as is. I don't want to fiddle with any of them. But if you want to stop it using DMOZ or Yahoo description, you can check those boxes and that will stop that. So you can see there's a few different options under here. But like I said, most of these you're not going to want to fiddle with because there's a lot of stuff in here that you could potentially break your site. Okay, so you can show author metadata if you want to. I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to leave that off. You can add a Google Publisher page. You can determine the title and description for the front page by editing it. This is because I've got the static page set as my front page, so I can edit these pages if I want to. Okay, under post types, again, this is you can see full of weird and wonderful looking things. Again, most of the time you're not going to want to touch this. There's a title template, there's a title of the page and a separator and then the site name. So this gives your page a decent title. That's a template that's used by default, and you can see you can put keywords and a description in there. You can set it so it's no index or follow if you want to. You can show the date if you want, and you can hide the WordPress SEO meta box from posts or pages or whatever. It's up to you how you set that, but again, I wouldn't fiddle with it, but that's just me. Again, same here. This is for categories, tags and formatting. Again, I wouldn't touch that either. And then other is some more over there. Again, I wouldn't fiddle with that either because that's just starting to get a bit too complex, and frankly I really don't want to. You've got some options under social as well, and here you can integrate it with your Facebook Insights or your Twitter card if you want to. I'm not using either of these, so I haven't touched that. But like I said, I'm going to go through sort of my overview, how I use it and how I set it up. And obviously if you're feeling techie and you really want to get under the bonnet of this, then by all means go through his instructions and help, and he'll have lots and lots of information there that can really explain some of this and turn you into an SEO propeller head if that's what you want. But for me, I just want to install it. It's running. I'm cool with that. I think the default settings are more than adequate. Now here you have an option as well. I always used to use a Google XML sitemap plugin, so that it made an XML sitemap of my page and submitted it to Google for quick indexing, and so they could find all my pages. Now instead of using a separate plugin, this does it. So you make sure that box is checked, and it will create your sitemap, and it will automatically ping Google and Bing, but you can also get it to ping Yahoo and Ask, which obviously is quite useful. And if you want to exclude certain posts or whatever, you can exclude those from your sitemap. Up to you, but again, I tend to leave it as a default. So you can see it's not really complex. As long as you're not going to start fiddling with it, and you're not going to start messing around and trying to rewrite your SEO, your page titles and stuff like that, it's actually not difficult to use. And again, there's a few options here for you to mess with if you want to, but again, I don't see the need to. Literally, unless you can say, right, well, that's very important to me, click, you leave it alone, because whether it helps or not is debatable. So you can see there's a couple of options there. So yeah, that will enforce a trailing slash, so it'd be yourwebsite.com/postname/ again, if you want that, not, I don't know, but I'll leave that as is. And you can see there's a few options here, and it's all relatively straightforward. As long as you're not fiddling around with it and trying to be clever, it's very easy. This one here, you can enable breadcrumbs. You put a separator in, your anchor text, which would be your keyword, and then sort of something like "you are here" would go here. So this would be "you are here," and that shows them where you are. Separator between breadcrumbs might be something like that. Anchor text for homepage would be your keyword. And the idea is this: is when you go to a website, you see at the top it says, it shows you the path of where you are. So it's got the, say for here it might be "Learn French Fast," and then it might say the category, which would be "How to Learn French Fast," and then maybe the post name would be below it as a H1 title. So you can use this if you want to. I'm not going to at the moment here. I don't feel the need to, but I certainly might enable it, because I can see it being quite useful in getting a couple more keywords on the page. But you've got to balance stuffing keywords, lots of keywords on, and just sort of how your website looks. I don't feel this is suitable for the type of website I'm trying to design here. Now, another thing that I use is I love my RSS feeds. I think they're brilliant ways for getting indexed and for getting links. Now, I've always used a plugin which has put a footer in the bottom of my RSS feed that says this post has come from, and gives a keyword link to my website. This plugin does it all. What you can see here is you can put content before a post and after a post. So in your feed, this will appear before and after each post. So this is really good because it allows you to get some links back to your website, which obviously is what you want. So for me, I think that's very, very good. It's a very good way of getting yourself some good links through from your RSS feeds. Makes them a bit more powerful, if you like. And the last thing in the settings that I want to show you is one of the things that persuaded me to use this. Is I wasn't going to use it, I'll be honest with you. I'd seen people talking about it. I thought, well, yeah, but I use all-in-one SEO, and I've got everything set up in all-in-one SEO. And lo and behold, look, he's got an import from all-in-one SEO option. Basically, you check that, click import, and it imports all the data from all-in-one SEO and puts it into this program. So you don't have to go through your posts and your pages, copying data between boxes. It's all there. It's all done. It's lovely. It's really, really nice. So that was a real selling point for me, because like I said, I had used all-in-one SEO, and I will be rolling this out to pretty much all of my sites as of now, because I do think it's a good plugin and it's very powerful. Now, we haven't even started to sort of go under the hood of this. It's very, very powerful in what it can do. This is just the settings we've looked at here. We really haven't looked at the true power of it. So let's pick one of our Let's pick one of our posts, and what I want to do is I want to show you why this is such a useful little plugin, and I think you'll be quite pleasantly surprised when you see this. Okay, so what you can see, I'm just going to scroll down. So we've got the WordPress SEO by Yoast. Now this is similar to the all-in-one SEO pack. So basically you put the keyword that you're focusing on. So what keyword is my page about? It's about learning to speak French. And it tells me here, yes, it's in the header, it's in the page title, it's in the page URL, it's 4 times in the content, and it's in the meta description. There you are. So that tells me it's there. I can also click find related keywords, or learn to speak French. There you are. And it will come up with some related keywords for me. So I can see that it's giving me some more ideas for keywords, which obviously these are longer tail keywords, so I might want to use these for posts, and I could probably get ranked very easily for them just by doing on-page SEO. Now here you've got your here you've got your SEO title. So this is the title of your page. It tells you how many characters you've got and how many's left. Here you've got your meta description, and here are your meta keywords. So if you ignore these and don't put anything in, it uses the template from here, from the settings. Otherwise it uses whatever's here. Now the real beauty of this comes when I go to page analysis. Now the thing with this is, what this does is this will look at your page and compare a lot of the on-page SEO factors. Now, for an awful lot of keywords, you might be surprised how easy it is for you to get yourself ranked, particularly longer tail keywords, just by getting your on-page SEO right. If you get your on-page SEO right, it can make the difference between you being at position sort of 2 and position 1. It can really help you overtake the competition, because a lot of sites, their on-page SEO is dreadful. But this helps you to get it right, and it means that you're not trying to struggle to do it. You're not trying to remember each time, right, how many times have I used my keyword, how many H2 tags have I had, blah 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 blah. And so it makes your life a lot easier. And you can see here it's telling me I've got a lot of stuff green. It's happy with that. I've got some things that are yellow, so I haven't got an outbound link, so I probably want to put one in. I could link to one of my other sites, or I could link to a Wikipedia page, or my YouTube video, or my Squidoo lens, or something like that. I haven't got a H2 tag, and it seems to think that my writing's a bit difficult, but I suppose that's because there's a lot of French words in there. Over here you can see it tells me my keyword density is a bit low. There's no image on the page with an alt tag. The slug's a bit long, not too worried about that. The keyword for this page contains one or more stop words, so it's got the word to in it. Now, the word to is going to stay in there basically, because learn speak French makes no sense. I'm appealing for people that type in learn to speak French, so I've left the keyword in there, because otherwise it's just going to read dreadfully. And all the stop word is it just means it's a word that Google tends to ignore and pays no attention into. So you've got some advanced options there if you want to fiddle around with those, and then obviously you've got descriptions to share it over to Facebook and Google+. But the beauty is this is what helps you get your on-page SEO right, which can really, really help you get your site ranking. Now you can see it's not particularly difficult to use. It really isn't. It's very simple to use. It's very easy. You can literally just install it, make no changes whatsoever, and it's perfectly okay to use. You don't have to fiddle with it. You might want to go in and check 1 or 2 boxes, but in most cases you will not want to make any changes to it. You just install it as is and use it like this. It's simple. If you want to start fiddling with it, then by all means go in, change a few settings, get to know a bit more about what it does, and if you start really delving into the settings and everything else in there, I'd love to hear more about it from you. But that's how you use this piece of software. It's a very simple plugin. It's very powerful, and I really do think it's a good tool to use. I really like it, and I find it very, very easy to use, and it just helps me get that on-page SEO right every time without me trying to remember. So now you know how to use it, you can get on with it, put it on your site, and I think you'll really, really enjoy using it.